Okay, happy Monday everybody. Same as Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever. Okay, so today, a few things. A little bit of reading, a little bit of swing, a little bit of triplet fill-ins. Now I'm sure that everyone, and we have a full house today, good. Okay, I'm sure that everybody has the syncopation book. This is the second edition. The first edition is just a little shorter in size, but this is the second edition. And it's a great book, as is stick control. Now, doing group lessons like this is a little bit difficult, only because I don't know what everyone's reading skills are. So we have to have a starting point, and that starting point is mathematical. All right, now being mathematical means we're going to break the measure down. We're going to interpret the measure either straight up and down or swung. And I'm sure everybody here understands the difference between straight up and down and swung. And then we're going to put some triplet fill-ins with the concept. Now the book, you could do, it's like stick control book. You could do it 1,000 different ways. But today, I was requested to do the triplet fill-in. Okay, so now we're going to go to page 31, number 13. Everybody there? Let me know if you're there. You have it. Now, what we're going to do, we have to take this in different stages. First thing you have to do, it's in 4/4, number 1. And you have to understand the value of the notes and what the meaning of the time signature is. 4/4 is 4 beats to a measure. Each quarter note receives 1 count or 1 beat. Very basic, very elementary, and that's what you're reading from the 4/4 time signature. Now, if you look at the first measure on page 31, you'll see you have 2 quarter notes, 8th note rest, 8th note, and a quarter note. And if you were to add all of them up, it would equal 4. 1 quarter note, 2 quarter notes, 2 8th notes, 8th note rest and an 8th note equals another quarter note, and the quarter note at the end. So that's 4 quarter notes. So what we're going to do, we're going to read the first measure straight up and down. And when I do this, I'm counting out loud, or if I'm by myself, I'm just counting to myself. But I am counting. And we're going to take the basic simple counting system, 8th note count, which is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to do it slow. We're doing it mathematically. We're not doing it as part of a figure of a horn part or a melody. We're learning how to do the mechanics and the math of the reading. So let's do number 13. All right, and I'm going to play this with one hand, because my left, no, I'll play it alternating strokes, and I'm going to use full strokes like so. So, I'm going to play the first measure, line 13. 1, and, play, and, 1, and, 2, and, 3, and, 4, and. Now, does everybody understand that? Any questions? You understand how I counted it, why I played what was there, and the value of the notes. And that's considered straight up and down. Now, we're not going to be playing, eventually today we might be playing it a little up-tempo. But that's the mechanics, that's the math. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, on that particular page, on that line 13, you have 4 measures which are the same. So we're only addressing the first measure, but it's like addressing the 4 measures. So I'll play it a little bit. The 4 measures, line 13. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 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 And I played the measure as written. And that's considered straight up and down. And I use full strokes And the reason why I use full strokes is sort of warm it up. So I can play it down here for with a different dynamic, and dynamics means the degrees of power. That's a free stroke. That's a tap. Okay, so now that's straight up and down. I can get into this cut time, but I'm not going to do that until we go to the drum set. In the drum set application, we're going to use this as basic rock patterns. But now we're going to go a little further here. We all know how to read this straight up and down, correct? Just put a Y in the chat for yes, and N in the chat for no. And if you need for me to go over it again, straight up and down, I will. No response. Okay, everybody knows how to read it. Now, I'm going to swing this. And you'll never see this written. It just say swing. And as soon as they say swing, my whole thing goes to a eighth note triplet. Now, there's different counting systems for eighth note triplets. There's one ta-ta, two ta-ta, or one triplet, two triplets, so on and so forth. Or the way I count is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, all three of them are correct. And whatever works for you is what you want to do. What works for me is the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I will occasionally count a triplet as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for subdivisional reasons. Now, we played the first line straight up and down. Now we're going to play that swung. And like I said, as soon as somebody says swung, I go to the triplet mode. Okay, like I said, you'll never see it written as what I'm going to play or the way I'm going to count it. It's just you have to internalize this. So now I have what happens is all the first notes of the triplet become the downbeat. So if I had 4 quarter notes, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If I had all 8 of the ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, all the ands would become the duh of the triplet. So if I wanted to swing that, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now I'm going to just do the first measure, break it down, dissect it somewhat. First measure is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that's mechanically understanding it. I'm just playing very slow, so for instructional purposes. Now you want to pick up the tempo somewhat. I would lower the stick and go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and the ba-da. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's kind of swinging. And by swinging, it opens up the space between the downbeats. It makes it feel good. Now, I'm going to play the first line, swung, and I'll play it in the moderate tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Basically simple. Just understanding it. Now, you have to take this in stages. You understand how to do a straight up and down. You understand how to do a swung. Now, the lesson for today is going to be triplet fill-ins. Now, I'm not going to play my bass drum. I'm not going to play my hi-hat. I'm just going to use one surface. And I'm going to make it a linear line. Now, the term linear is a straight line. And there's a lot of different, if I want to get into it scientifically, I can sit here for a half hour and explain all the science of what linear is. You're going to get very confused. So, what we're doing is we're taking this as a linear line. And I'm going to fill in the triplets. I'm going to play what's there with my right hand. 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, there's the blanks there. I'm going to make the triplet constant. But when I fill in the blanks, that's the remainder of the triplet, it's going to be pianissimo, and my right hand is going to be forte. So if I did the first guy, the first measure, that's page 31, line 13, it would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now that doesn't sound like too much of anything there, but if you want to put the tempo up on the first measure, now it starts to sound like something. Okay, and then eventually, you know, I'm still counting mentally or internally, and I'm not humming. And that's when I do play with the jazz group or with a rock group or straight ahead, a mainstream kind of thing. I'm not counting, I'm humming the parts that I'm playing. Somewhere, I guess, because you're humming, there has to be some sort of order for the counting. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hum it a little bit. Excuse me. Where did the mouse go? Oh, here it is. Let's go, there you go. Okay. So now, I'm going to hum it. Ding, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going to play the line. Pop, 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 pop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. That is a great amount of creation on this particular line, on the drum set. It is very difficult to demonstrate how creative or where you can go with this on one surface. But before you can go to the drum set, you need those 3 stages. Understanding how to read straight up and down, okay, and then swung, and then with the fill-ins. Now, you have actually page 30 to 31, you have 24 lines. Now, I can go over all 24 lines and take up a whole hour and explain it. I will take a couple more lines, but from this point on, is there any questions? Anyone have a problem? Want me to go over it again, or they're not certain? It's not a problem. Okay, good, everybody understands it. All right, let's hit line 14. Okay, now, line 14, straight up and down. I'm going to do it slow. And now I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and here we go, 14. And I'm going to use alternate strokes and I'm going to play full strokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, now, like I said, there's a tremendous amount of ways to do this, but we needed the starting point. The starting point is, do you understand how to read it? And that's what exactly we're doing, straight up and down. Okay, now I'm going to take 14, line 14, and swing it. So now, again, I go to the triplet mode. 1 and 2, the 3 and 4 and I'm going to still now play it with one hand. Line 14, page 31. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, with that being said, now we're going to make it a linear line, and we're going to fill in the blanks where the triplet is absent with the left hand. So we're going to play the right hand, forte, the left hand, piano. We're not going to go fortissimo up here like this. We're going to play about right here. Nice sound. Okay, so now, line 14. I'll take it about here. I'll do it slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 play it with the fill-ins. Alright? I'm going to put the balance of the triplet with the left hand. All what's written is going to be played with the right hand. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and now, gentlemen, you have to realize this is an instructional platform, not a performance platform. I'm not going to sit here and blaze like so. I'm trying to explain the concept and the approach. Now, one more approach and then we'll go to the stick control book. I'm certain that you could all read straight up and down and swung page 30 and 31 in the syncopation book. So here's what we're going to do. One more concept. And that concept being, I could do that, I guess. Let me see if I hit this. No good. Let me put the metronome down here. And I get two different sounds. Okay, this is a good endurance exercise as well, coordination exercise. Now what I consider all of the exercises that I'm showing you is one-dimensional. Alright, this next exercise would be two-dimensional, but on the drum set. And like I said, I cannot do the drum set until September the 1st. Not on YouTube, but on my channel. I'm opening it up so we could all kind of put everything that we sort of learned, or kind of learned, or learned, onto the drum set application. So now what I want to do, let's say you're right-handed and your left hand is obviously a little bit weaker, unless you're one of the chosen ones where you have equalized strength in the right, equalized strength in the left. You're an ambidextrous or open-handed player. That's fantastic. Most people, if they're right-handed, their left hand's weaker. If they're left-handed, their right hand is weaker. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do both sides of the right side and the left side. I'm going to play eighth note triplets constant with my left hand, like so. Now you see what you need. You have to understand how to read this first before you can go to this platform. But I'm going to play the triplet constant with my left hand on the snare drum. And whatever's written, I'm going to play on, I would say that would be the floor tom, have a little bit of fun. Let's get it. There you go. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Here we go. Line 13. 4. 1, 2. So on and so forth. Now you want to move it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you get it going on. That was the first two lines. And that was to my left side because I'm working that left hand. Now, if I want to equalize it, which you should, that's what the concept of the stick control book, equalize the right side and equalize the left side. So I played the first side, the triplet here, now I'm going to play the triplet here. And I'll use that as a different sound. And I'm going to play what's there with my left hand while my right hand constantly does triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, that was line 13. It's just a fun thing to do, and it gives you a different perspective, it gives you a different approach, and a different feel. And we're not blowing out big band stuff here or or playing Miles Davis tunes or whatever, we're learning how the concepts work, straight up and down, swung, and some coordination exercises. Okay? Now, I'm going to take this over to the stick control book. And that's going to be page 5. Alright, now, everybody can read page 5. It's just straight eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I played the first line, it would be, excuse me, on page 5, line 1 in the stick control book. And I'll play it slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and no repeat. So I played it straight up and down. Now what I want to do is interpret that line swung. So what happens? I have the triplet mode again. So I'm going, okay, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. And I have 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. That's how I interpret it. Now, I'm going to do that with the triplet fill-ins. But I have to eliminate the left, which is 1 and the. So if I eliminate the left, it's going to be 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. Now if you do the fill-in, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I go down to line 2. It's written 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I say, okay, I'm going to swing it. So now I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again now I eliminate the lefts and just play the rights with that approach, with that concept. The swung feel. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and 4 and the 1 and the 2 and 3 and the 4 and the. Now I'm going to fill in the triplets. Here we go. 1 and the play. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. Now you can do the whole page, the whole 3 pages like that. You can do a little syncopation book like that. It's a fun thing to do. And what you're doing is you're accomplishing a lot at one time. You're developing a sense of coordination, a reading, a sound, and endurance, and hand speed, all one shot. So now, if I take what I really like to do as a warm-up to this kind of approach would be if I was just doing line 1 and then go directly into line 2, and from line 2 go back to line 1. I'll do it slow. 1, 2, 3, one more time, 4, 1, 2, line 2, 4, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3. Back. Sorry. It's hard to talk and do this stuff. Up tempo somewhat, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm doing it again, line 1. Line 2. So on and so forth. Okay. I will be back tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What I have been is on the phone with all the different companies like DW, Latin Percussion, Aquarium, Remo, Vic Firth, what else? Yamaha, all these guys. Getting some clinic forms. Okay? So, I need to go, and I will be back tonight at 8 p.m. And what's going to happen now, come September the 1st, I'm going back to my site. And I'm going to open up the site once in a while free. I will still maintain doing the YouTube lessons as well. So you can learn from the YouTube lessons, you want to hear a drum set application, it will be on my site. So at the moment my site is down because we're doing some construction, and I want to open it up the 1st. I don't know, the 1st is what? Today's the 29th, 30th, I think it's Thursday? Yeah, Thursday or Friday. And then we have the Labor Day weekend, and I need a couple of days off. And then after that, we're going to be flying. I'm going to be doing lessons Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursday's a day off. Okay, gentlemen? If you have any questions, give me a call or a holler, and we'll hit it. All right, have a good afternoon and practice.